Hello, beautiful creatures of the world, and welcome back to Coffee with Kerri-Lynn. It's maybe it's gonna rain, maybe it's not gonna rain kind of day here in the far north of Maine, up along the Canadian border in the crown of Maine. I hope everyone is having a nice, warm, sunny summer day. Wherever you may be, I hope you're having a day filled with fabulosity and dang good coffee, because everybody deserves a good cup of coffee in the morning. Today we're gonna do a different kind of show. I was doing a different kind of show for my subscribers. If you are part of my 234 subscribers, thank you for subscribing to my channel. You guys know what we're all about here. We do a different kind of show because whatever pops into my head generally flies out my mouth, and sometimes we're all surprised by what I have to say. Today's show is going to be on the drama of the Conjuring House. There's drama everywhere. If it's not news and politics, if there's not drama in your family, because we don't have those dramatic people in our family, then it's drama in the paranormal world. And whether it's people that are pursuing the paranormal having the argument, or people that own the historic paranormal sites, there's always something going on. Somebody's always fussing and fighting. But this drama is really getting out of control. And I'm really following it. And my subscribers know why. I was born and raised in Rhode Island. I've lived 2 years longer in the state of Maine than I have in the state of Rhode Island. So I'm a roadie girl, little roadie girl. And of course, Rhode Island is so small that everybody's talking about this. Whether you're in the paranormal world or not, everybody is talking about the bullshit that is going on with the owner of the Conjuring House and her former employees. For those of you who do not know, Rhode Island is about 48 miles long and about 37 miles wide. And oh my gosh, hey, I saw on the news, WPRI, the dragonfly invasion on the beach in Westerly. That was absolutely amazing. I did not know that dragonflies swarmed like that. But the best part of the entire video, because we replayed that video so many times, was all the kids are screaming their heads off because they're being swarmed by dragonflies. And all the parents are taking video, throwing blankets over the kids and telling them to be quiet. Only in Rhode Island. 2/3 of our kids were born in Rhode Island, and 1/3 of our kids was born here in the great state of Maine. We have grandchildren here in the great state of Maine. We have nieces and nephews that were born exclusively to Maine. And so Maine is like a second home for me. He is my Maine man, and he moved to Rhode Island when he was a young teenager. We grew up together. I got cute. We got married. And now I've lived 2 years longer in the state of Maine than I have in the state of Rhode Island. So the Conjuring House, Burrillville, Rhode Island. Oh my goodness. It's getting insane. For those of you who do not know what's going on, because you're not in the paranormal drama world and you're not giving your algorithm, a different search to search for, there is a big deal story going on in the state of Rhode Island. The Conjuring House is a historic haunted site. It is Rhode Island's Amityville Horror House. Ed and Lorraine Warren did the Amityville horror investigation. Ed and Lorraine Warren did the Burrillville location, the Conjuring House, and the Conjuring movie franchise was built off of their investigation. Now, for those of you who don't know, it'll be news to you, that a lot of that investigation was a bunch of bunk. And for those of you who do know, that investigation that Ed and Lorraine Warren did, and I am a huge fans of them. I know a lot of their stuff was BS. They had to make a living too. My bubble was burst when I got a little older and a little wiser to what the Warrens had done, and what the reality of paranormal investigating is, because I do know the reality of paranormal investigating. And I was really bummed out when I found that a lot of claims are just claims. And historians have gone through the history of the Conjuring House, and some of the stuff doesn't exist that Lorraine claimed existed. And the Perron family, there was families that lived there before the Perron family, and they had no problems with the house. And then the Perron family had the problems with the house, and then Lorraine came in and said, you know, evil entities, demonic this, da 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 da. And legends are born, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful creatures of the world. So what's going on with the Conjuring House now? If you're interested in paranormal things, just give it a Google. You'll find everything that's going on. So what's going on with the Conjuring House? Well, in 2022, the house was bought from Corey and Jen by Jacqueline Nunez. She is a real estate developer, and she wanted the Conjuring House. She wanted to own it. It's an attraction. A lot of money has been made for many, many years off of the Conjuring House, the legends, the tales, the stories, and investigations. That house is very, very famous, and all the big shows have gone through, and all the big YouTube channels have gone through the house in Burrillville, Rhode Island, and done their paranormal investigations and screamed demonic possessions, and other people screamed that nothing really happened. And it's always a bit of a site of curiosity. It's a site of controversy. So what ended up happening was in 2022, Jacqueline Nunez purchases the Conjuring House from Corey and Jen, and Corey and Jen's basic entire staff stay on their jobs, giving tours to paranormal investigators, giving tours of the house, organizing the events that go on there. And then in May of this year, just about all of them resigned. And one of the people that worked at the Conjuring House happens to have a very famous father, Jason Hawes from Taps. So Satori Hawes and her fiance Cody worked at the Conjuring House, and Jen and Corey, who were the former owners, they stayed on to help the business, and a few other people that I don't know work there. I don't know these guys either. They're just very famous names in the news. I don't know anybody personally. Although, when we did live in Rhode Island, it was not an oddity to see Grant or Jason around town. They worked at Roto-Rooter. They did Roto-Rooter jobs for people in my family. It was just the way it was. So Rhode Island, it's the biggest little state in the union, and everybody knows everybody. So before they became who they are now, super celebrities, they were just people that you kind of ran into at the market, or you ran into at Kinko's to make copies for something, or they were at Staples or wherever, you know, or they were fixing the toilet in your bathroom. That is what it was, and it was wild, and it was fascinating, and it's just cool, and they're really cool people. Well, Jason's daughter actually worked at the Conjuring House, and people apparently were not getting paid. The new owner was very nasty to them, sent a lot of nasty, unprofessional texts, made very nasty, unprofessional demands from these people. So they all decided that in May that they were going to resign. A lot of different things transpire when you own these historic paranormal sites. What I think happened is a matter of greed, and that's all it is. Straight up, it's just absolute greed and pride, vanity. A couple 7 deadly sins in there, a couple of them. People on the YouTube are now saying, oh, the house possessed Jacqueline. I don't believe the house has possessed Jacqueline. I think Jacqueline's greed has possessed Jacqueline. I think Jacqueline's pride has possessed Jacqueline. But I do not think that the house has possessed Jacqueline. I do think that in light of everybody resigning, in light of seeing on video the texts that as a businesswoman she was sending to her employees. I mean, if I worked for a person like that, I would quit. No way would I put up with that kind of nasty abuse as an employee. Paychecks are missing. Nastiness has been said. Accusations are flung around. And then in July, on July 19th, Jacqueline fired or got rid of her vice president of the company that runs the Conjuring House, stating that the ghosts told her that the vice president, Brian, and several others that used to work at the Conjuring House were psychically attacking her, and that Brian was stealing from the gift shop and stole over like $3,000. What Jacqueline conveniently does not tell anybody is that according to the employees, they're owed money, and Brian specifically has said he is owed like $9,000 in pay. So she hasn't been paying employees according to the former employees. The people that resigned, and Brian, who was actually fired because the voices in her head, the ghosts, specifically John Arnold, told her that he was stealing. She has subsequently gone on, Jacqueline, that is, to post video defaming Jason Hawes, accusing him of stalking and attacking her loosely. She claims he showed up at the Conjuring House one evening and harassed her, when in fact the person that was actually at the Conjuring House that night was at the Conjuring House to do an investigation, and it was not Jason. And that person is trying to set the record straight that that is his truck, not Jason's truck, and there has been no form of that type of harassment from Jason Hawes to Jacqueline Nunez. Now you get the paranormal channels, they're all talking about the gossip, and a few of them are saying that the house is possessing her. There's always comments in the comment section, it's the house that's possessing her. No, it is not. It is greed. It is vanity. What I believe has happened is Jacqueline paid over $1.5 million for the Conjuring House. She wanted it as a business. She has overcharged people, according to big channels that have done investigations there. But not only according to them did they feel overcharged, she also, if you go in to make a video at the Conjuring House, part of that contract is that you must submit your footage to the Conjuring House for approval. So you pay $6,000 to do an investigation for the night. You get 2 hours live stream, and then all other footage you have to give to the Conjuring House so that it can be approved to be uploaded onto YouTube or whatever platform that you're on making the video for. So who the hell in their right mind is going to pay this woman nearly $6,000, submit the video, and then be told the video can't go up? This is bad business practices. It's not house possession. The ghost of John Arnold, Abigail Arnold, are not possessing Jacqueline Nunez, in my opinion. Jacqueline has threatened lawsuits against everybody who wants to talk about this, against her former employees who have never signed non-disclosure agreements. They've never signed them. She has everybody on pins and needles because she is a trained lawyer. She does not practice law. She is a trained lawyer. She went to school to be a lawyer. She holds her law degree, but she does not practice law. She is a real estate developer out of Boston. And I think that the price that she paid for the Conjuring House, she thought it was a great business opportunity. God bless the woman. For me, I look at that where somebody's selling a property that all the big channels have already made for years and years and years. They've already made TV shows for. I look at it as been there, done that. Who's going to come in and do it now? So what I think has happened was Jacqueline bought the Conjuring House with big pie in the sky visions. She thought she was going to get celebrity off of the house. She did not understand that the Conjuring House is the celebrity. You will forever be in the background. That's where her vanity kicks in. You will forever be in the background, the shadow of the home. Nobody cares who owns the home. Everybody cares and loves the home. So when you go into business and you think you're going to be the big deal, when you buy an attraction such as this, you need to understand it's the attraction that is the big deal. You will never be the celebrity. People will go to the home, to the site, to the attraction to experience that. They don't give a shit about you owning it. They really don't. I think that her vanity got in the way, and that's one of the 7 deadly sins, and greed. And like I said, when somebody is selling an attraction like that, and all the big shows have already come through, they've all done TV spots on it, they ain't coming back. They just aren't. And it's a been there, done that. So I think with the purchase of the home, the attraction, I think with the amount of money Jacqueline dumped into the attraction, not to be able to get it back on national TV shows, there's a lot of money going toward running the venue. There's a lot of money going toward rebuilding and refurbishing things on the venue. There's a lot of money going toward new events like the glamping thing that was put on the property for a different type of experience. The rules, the regulations. One thing that does happen when a business is failing is business owners tend to panic and go up on prices or drop off on advertising. And as a business owner, I have also been guilty of this. When things are not going as well as they should, your first instinct is to pull what you feel is all unnecessary marketing. And she felt that the Conjuring House could kind of stand on its own. So it was either a choice of pulling the PR from the house, coming up with brilliant new PR for the house, because any attention is good attention, or going up on prices. And apparently she has gone up extraordinarily on prices, and all this talk about the Conjuring House is PR. Good PR, bad PR, any PR is PR. And so she's going to get a little lift off of this and everybody else's videos. But I do not believe that the house has possessed Jackie. I believe that greed has possessed Jackie. And it's just given the Conjuring House a huge black eye. Her inappropriate behavior toward her employees, her public inappropriate behavior where she's up on the Conjuring House Facebook page spewing all this nonsense, this outrage, this rage that she has. And I think that, people keep saying she needs help, she needs help. She needs somebody to talk to, a professional. Hey, if you're losing your business and your employees may or may not sue you, and you go after them with the lawfare thing, and that is what she's doing. She's going after everybody saying, if you talk about this, if you show this text, if you show this email communication, I'll bury you in a lawsuit. She has a lot more money than the people who worked for her. So if you're going to go the lawfare route, we see that happening a lot in this country, where people try to suppress other people through lawfare, and that is an angle that Jacqueline Nunez has been threatening people with. She's going to sue everybody. I think it's for she could step into court and say, hey, something happened in my brain. I needed to talk to a professional. And that may push lawsuits off, and it just, well, the hospital's right there. She may want to go make a friend at the hospital. But that puts her in a sphere of saying, there was something wrong with me. I was hearing voices. People who actually do hear voices and who actually do have communication, first of all, we don't talk about it. We keep our visions to ourselves because we know those visions can get us locked up. We just don't come out with the stuff that she's coming out with. She does claim. She does have claims on psychic abilities and such like that. But most people who have that claim, not widely talk about. It does not become a PR point. And that has absolutely become a PR point for Jacqueline Nunez. I'm not saying she's not clairvoyant. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is we keep our visions to ourselves. That's it. You don't want to be mistaken for being a crazy person. And that's what happens when you go telling people what's what in the world, and you've got a connection to things beyond the veil. I think it's just simply a case of bad business practice and greed. She has invested a lot of money and is not making a great return on the property. She is, to the best of my knowledge, not possessed by the house. She's possessed by greed. She's let down by her own pride and vanity. She thought she would be as regaled as the attraction, and she's not. And I think that was a big blow to her ego as well. So that's my rift on the Conjuring House. That's my opinion on what is going on, and unfortunately, there are people who have not been paid. There are people who are struggling to pay their bills because their boss did not pay them. And that all boils down, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, to very bad business practices that will end you in bankruptcy at some point. And I think that drama needed to be created to make that attraction a little more relevant in the news. Unfortunately, it skewed way sideways for Jacqueline Nunez. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, keep following the drama at the Conjuring House because it's interesting, to say the very least. And we do wish all of the employees, former employees of the Conjuring House, we wish you happiness in your future, and we hope that people that own these attractions do not do things just to get the attraction back into the spotlight after it's all been done before. So keep integrity if you own any of these paranormal attractions. Keep integrity in your business. It's very important. There is a whole new generation of people that are coming up that want to investigate the paranormal. And You don't want to give your attraction a black eye. It may be one of these slow errors because all the big channels have been to your attraction, but just give it some time, because some of these paranormal investigators, these young people, have a lot of integrity when they do their investigations, and a lot of times their channels are getting kind of passed over for the sensational demonic possession and the ghost tried to kill me and all that. It gets lost in the sensationalism. But there are some really good small paranormal channels that they're doing a good job. They just gotta hang in there, and they will eventually be visiting your haunted attraction. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful creatures of the world, Carpe Diem, because no one promised you a tomorrow.